Alright, welcome to the video guys. So I wanted to show you this game that I played in the T-52. This is on Tundra. This is a new tank for me, the T-52, and I played like a dozen battles in this vehicle after I received it. I believe it was 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago, for reward. It's like a years of service reward, I believe. So I had the VK2801-105. I wanted to get this one because for me it's a new tank. I know it's been around a long time and I really like this thing, man. The accuracy is pretty good on it. The mobility is actually very good. It just doesn't have great top speed, but the acceleration is good, and it traverses quick, and it's just a very snappy tank. The gun is snappy, the acceleration is good. Like, the tank just feels very fast and quick to me at tier 6, and the DPM is nothing crazy, but it feels like it's really good, just because the gun has a very quick loading time, right? So we're going to poke up here. We're going to get one shot into the T-52, 2 shots into the T-52, maybe one into the M6 or something like that, and then I don't want to overstay my welcome here, so I do end up retreating. I think we do try, actually do get one into the M6 and he goes down, and I never want to overstay my welcome here because Artie will target you. So on Tundra, guys, what I wanted to kind of explain to you is at the mid tiers, it's actually fairly easy to do damage on this map because not a lot of people like fully understand where they're safe at the mid tiers, and so what you normally have is players like the Panzer IV here and other players you will see that just kind of push into the enemy base for us, I mean our base, but you can sit back here from the north spawn where the T-67 is sitting. You can sit here and basically cover your entire side of the map, right? If they start pushing in, the enemies start pushing in from the west, if they start pushing in from the east, if they start pushing in from the mid, and if people poke this hill, missing the shots on the Panzer IV here, I'm sorry, but if they're coming from really any direction, you can get shots like everywhere from back here in this like A3, A4 corner. So I highly suggest that you use this location if you're on the north spawn. The south spawn doesn't really have an equivalent in my eyes, because down here is like the same area is kind of like a little pit where the Arties like to sit, like in this area. It just doesn't work the same, man. It's very different. And that's just the way Wargaming designed it, right? This map is not perfectly symmetrical. The only one that I know of that is Ghost Town. So look at these shots into the 40 TP, man. I don't think we missed one of these, and this is what I mean about this vehicle. It's just so snappy. The gun is accurate. Like, it just works, man. I could have just been lucky, but this gun just feels very, very good to me. The tank feels very, very good to me, and we're able to make it work very, very well in this game. Now, one more point that I wanted to add in this video is another reason why it's fairly easy to do damage in general on this map is because it has all these little... I'm going to pause and show you guys this. Do you see all these little like hills? Like you have this hill right here. You have this hill right here. You even have this little one right here. You have this rock formation right here. There's so many of these little like hills in the game. It makes it very easy for a tank with mobility to be able to flank and fool people. And you're going to see that later in this game. I outplay the M6 as he's pushing in. And you can see how, like, this is like the first shot I feel like we missed, right? Is that auto lock shot. Getting shots into the T-67 at the mid, but you're going to see a little bit later on in this game how I outplay the enemy M6 heavy tank just by using these like giant mounds that are in the middle of the map everywhere, and I just flank him. I go right around him. He never saw it coming, and he was a very good player. I think he's like a reroll. I mean, he's purple, but he has like, it says 0k battles, and I think I looked at this guy's stats at the end of this game, and he only had like 3 tanks. So I think he's... I don't think anyone could be this good when they're brand new. It's just my opinion. You know, having like a 7,000 W8, so he's probably just a reroll, and he's, you know, working his way up again, but he was a good player nonetheless, and I'm able to outplay him just by using that technique, right? So you can see we're at 3 kills, we're at 1,700 damage already in this vehicle because, as I said, in the mid tiers, a lot of people would just push the base, and like we're able to counter these guys very well by sitting in the A3, A4 area. So what I'm going to do now is eventually, well, I wanted to try and go over a little bit to the east and just see if I can see what was going on over there, because it was just the Jackson, so I kind of wanted to help this guy out. But then someone ends up on our base, and obviously I know that because the siren is going off, and you can see the base captured by enemy and all that. I knocked this tree. Artie's firing it. He's very aware. It's a good Artie player on, you know, in my opinion, which is, in my opinion, also somewhat rare. But Artie was paying attention, and now we have the Hellcat poking here as well. And this is the thing about this location back here. A3, A4, even A5, you can see I'm out a little further from that pocket, but people will poke this hill right here, and what they're going to do is be looking for shots, and that ridgeline is wide open. So their tank is wide open. You can see we had it wasn't like the Hellcat was hull down, right? So FV304 takes a shot into me here. I'm very lucky that this guy didn't pen me, but we probably should have poked up into the bush. I found that when I first poked into the bush, I couldn't spot the M10, so I actually did this on purpose. I poked out of the bush to see if he would shoot me, which he did, so he got spotted doing that. So at least I can try and get a shot into him to reset the cap just initially, and you can see he's trying to reset his position here now, and we're able to clean him up. I go into the bush intentionally there so that I'm not spotted when I come up and take that shot. Otherwise, the KV-2 would have deleted me from the game, right? So now we're in a situation where we have the M44 right behind me, and we have the Jackson on my left to the east of this map, right? What's the problem here? Well, the west is now wide open, right? If the Dodge Artie here, I want to get rid of this KV-2, but the west is wide open, and I noticed that fairly quickly, and I'm going to make an adjustment because I'm pretty sure the M6 is going to push in. So here is where we outplay the M6. You can see I come around the corner here. We're able to spot him, which this was just kind of a lucky guess. He ended up pushing in right when I came around the corner, and it was good timing. But what we're going to do now is, because I wasn't spotted, I'm thinking that this guy is likely going to think that I'm going to come from like around this way, and I don't want to do that. Or he's going to think that I'm just staying in the A3, A4 area. So before this guy can even think of his next play, I'm going to come around him and get this shot from behind him. And did you see how easy this was, guys? Because I'm just able to use these areas of the map so well. He goes behind this little rock formation. I wasn't even spotted, so now this guy won't spot me until I'm on top of him, and it's too late for him. He's now a one-shot to me, and that's an easy way to outplay someone on this map. That's what you have to do, right? You just got to use the terrain to your advantage in a light tank, because you're already at somewhat of a disadvantage. We're going to go after the FV304 here. He ends up on the cap, and this is what I mean. Like, some players just do some weird things, man. So the M44 is able to clean him up. It's a great shot by our artillery player. But you're at a disadvantage in a light tank on a map such as Tundra, guys, because you're a light tank. You don't have any armor, right? And you have to try and use your gun. You usually don't have great DPM or penetration either. And you're in a situation where you have to try and use your gun and use your mobility to get the backsides of people where you can actually pen them. Now, at these tiers, there's kind of an exception, because armor is usually not that great. I would say until like at least tier 7. Like, that's when armor really is, with the exception of some of the heavies and like the ATs, right? Like, you don't find a lot of vehicles at these lower tiers with armor. Once you get to tier 8, 9, 10, that's when heavies start to have a lot of armor and effective angled armor, right? So effective armor. But at these lower tiers, you don't find this as much. But at the higher tiers, you're going to have to get around people, right? Because if you're dealing with like a mouse or something like that, even in the T100 LT, man, you're going to need to get the side plate of this thing or the back of it to be able to pen it, right? And these super heavies, like, you don't have a chance frontally. So that's how he did the things here, guys. Jackson held his ground very well on the east. He was able to outplay those two enemies. We go after the Leaf, and we end up cleaning up the Leaf. And we get a top gun here. It was 6 kills, 2,564 damage visible, and 1,583 assist. Now, because I was talking through this whole game, I don't know if this 1583 assist was track damage or spotting damage or a mixture of both, but it's assist nonetheless. 1583, keep in mind that for the mark, these two do not stack. The mark is either whichever one you do more of, tracking assist or spotting assist. They don't combine, so keep that in mind when you're going for your marks of excellence. However, it's 1583 assist overall on the stats, so that's what we're going with, and 25, 64 damage, and again 6 kills, guys. So that's how I did the things on this map. Again, it's a tier 5-6 game. You know, players are not going to be quite as good at this tier, but again, you can use these same tactics at higher tiers to try and, you know, minimize how bad the game is going to be if you're stuck on in a light tank on a brawling map like Tundra, right? So I hope that makes sense. This is what you have to do, man. There's no spotting to be done. I just watched a video by Chems, actually, where he did like an hour-long video of is World of Tanks rigged, and part of that video he says there's no good light tank maps other than Malinovka, he says Mali, and Proc. And I couldn't agree more with him, right? I mean, it's insane to me that people actually will comment on some of my videos saying like light tanks need to be nerfed or something like that, man. Like when I just did the video recently about the new random event on Prokhorovka, people were like, yeah, nerf the lights. I'm like, dude, are you crazy? You know, like nerf the lights on Proc. Like this is the only map where light tanks are actually useful, right? Pretty much. But anyway, guys, enough of that. Let's get into the end plates and we'll be done with this video. I do want to move on and open up my loot boxes because right now it's December 1st. So I'm going to get some loot boxes for the holiday event. And here you go, guys. Top Gun. We had 3 other badges here. This was a mastery. 25, 64 damage, 15, 83 assists, 6 kills. And here is the team score. Jackson played a very, very good game. Our M44 played a good game. Our Bishop as well. Our Arties did well, man. Their KV2 had a really good game. M6, again, he was a great player, man. A great player. He played it very, very well, I thought. But we just got the better of him at the end there. And we come out on top. Top by experience, guys. Top by kills. You know, top by damage. I mean, we just owned this map very, very well because we were just on the move and getting the right angles and getting a little bit lucky maybe getting the right angles, but we made it all work and we came out on top. 50k for a mission. We did fire a lot of APCRs. I think the pen is a little lacking on the standard, so I might have spammed the crap out of the APCRs. Who knows, man? I wasn't really paying attention. Sometimes I'll just load them up and forget I have the APCRs loaded. But I do try and use the APs when I don't need the APCRs. That's all for this one, guys. I'm running it at this time with vents, bounty optics, and just a standard low noise exhaust. I didn't quite yet have the field modifications. Once I played like 10 battles, I got the field modifications because after this game, with the bonus to experience, I think I got like enough in one game to get it up like 4 levels, like 3 or 4 levels. So that's all. Hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Take care of yourselves until then. Bye-bye.